Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of All the Mods 6. How are you guys doing today? How's life? It's nighttime, it's raining, therefore Cubby is at his home, sleeping. So fun fact of the day in mutation of bees. If you guys remember, I was trying to mutate a dragon egg into a Dragonic Bee using a wither bee, right? The way that it works is that the bee has to go to its flower, in this case a block of nether star, pollinate, and then on its way back it will drop the pollen on top of the dragon egg. So if you put the dragon egg over here, which is not in the path of returning to the hive, it's never going to convert. You actually have to put it somewhere around here. And we got a Dragonic Bee, which is not a quest. It's not a quest because you need the honeycomb. Okay. And just in case you're wondering why did I remove the second dragon egg, is because I didn't want him to be converted into another Dragonic Bee. But in any case, now that we have the Dragonic Bee, we need to mutate it into Aldemodium. So my dear friend, we don't need you anymore. I'm assuming we can have the dragon egg over here, and 4 blocks of Aldemodium. Be happy, and pollinate. This one actually has a 100% chance, so we already got one. There you go. Aldemodium. Of course I have to do the exact same thing for Vibranium and Unobtainium. But now that me has figured it out, it's going to be easy. So what is the plan for today? Well, in order to make the Aldemod star, we need a lot of resources, and the way that we are going to get those resources is through bees. Thankfully the mutations are over and we have all the bees that we want. And on a very positive note, we also have a functioning apiary. It is true that we need to make 3 more apiaries, but for the moment, let us make this one operational. I was wondering why I have Aldemodium block, I have Vibranium block, but I don't have any Unobtainium block. And then I remembered, I didn't want to mutate Unobtainium, we already have it. So in the apiary that we currently have, don't go in the hole, we are going to have an emerald bee, a normal bee, vibranium, Aldemodium, dragonic, and wither. Although now that I'm thinking, they're gonna pollinate everything, right? Maybe they don't, we will see. I think their paths will not cross each other, so they should not mutate anything. But just to be incredibly safe, we put the nether star block over there. Okay, that is a problem. Don't you have a hive? Go back to your hive. Stop pollinating everything. This is turning into a puzzle, but I think this should work. They should not pollinate the blocks. I hope. Anyways, now we need to start investing in additional apiaries, and for that we need a lot of honeycomb and a lot of honey blocks. Accidentally I left a gold bee inside the apiary and we have a decent amount of gold honeycombs. I think a sensible thing to do is that we're going to use these guys in order to get honey blocks. Oh, they give you the ore. Yeah, but for all the Aldemodium ingots, you don't get the ore. It's okay. So now that we have a decent amount of honey blocks, can we make an apiary? What are we missing? A lot of things. Well, the wither skeleton skulls is not going to be a problem. I'm sure that honey blocks are also not going to be a problem. And we also have 48,000 candleberries, so this should also be fine. Yes, you see, most of our issues have been solved. So far so good, nobody has mutated anything. I am also using our high tier honeycombs in order to get some bee wax, and we did get Unobtainium and dragon breads. The system that I'm working right now is not paying off because it's incredibly slow and it's incredibly manual. So let us automate as we go along. And for automating bees, we need our centrifuge. Eventually we are going to have 4 apiaries over here, right? So I think we can use one of the basements for the centrifuge and processing, and the other one, I don't know, we will find a use for it. And obviously we are going to need lanterns, so that later on I can remove the torches. Also, for automating everything with bees, we are going to use our QIO network. And I'm going to actually set it to logistics so that we can figure out everything. You, my dear friend, import everything without a filter. Good. Now that we're importing everything from the apiary into our QIO network, we need to start processing. So therefore, we need to export some of this stuff into the centrifuge. Very good, very good. It's working. And I'm going to make the same automation that we used to have in order to get the honey blocks and put the glass bottles back inside the centrifuge. So we are getting honey bottles from the centrifuge, they will go inside the crafter from RF tools, we will get honey blocks, the bottles go inside the drawer, and then into the centrifuge. And since we are using a crafter from RF tools and we have so many slots available, maybe we can also craft the nuggets into ingots. Another thing that I'm doing is that we're getting emerald ore and I'm importing it into our QIO network for ores, so that it will be processed. I had to change the system by a little bit so that it's slightly more functional. The situation with the honey blocks and honey bottles is still the same, but then I realized after we're done making the apiaries, we don't need honey blocks anymore or even bee wax. So I thought instead of importing millions of items into our applied energistic system, we're just going to have a few drawers. The same goes for dragon bread and dragon eggs. Because I was checking, dragon egg and dragon bread do not have that many uses, so there's no point of keeping it in our system. Also, instead of importing the nuggets into our system, we're just crafting the ingots and then importing it into our system. And when I opened the ender chest by accident, this is what I saw. We have 4.8 million redstone and 1.2 million iron. Therefore, our storage situation should not be that great. We need to fix it soon. Yes, unobtainium. We just add you to the filter, set the pattern, and we're good to go. Oh, actually, you need an extra filter. My bad. One thing that you should remember is that we have to do this filtering only once in our lives because the next apiary is just going to get an importer. That's it. And talking about the apiary, can we craft it? Yeah? It's going to take 4 million years, but I think we can. So ladies and gentlemen, our second apiary is ready. Let me set it up and I'll be right back. I went up ahead and made the second apiary, and you might notice that inside this one, we only have 5 bees. Unobtainium, vibranium, nether star, emerald, and aldemodium. The first apiary has 2 extra bees. One of them is dragonic so that we will have access to dragon eggs, and one of them is vanilla so that we get honeycomb. But in any case, the second apiary should be functional and we should get honeycombs, yes. So we just need an importer and that's it. Very good. We're getting tons of emerald and I don't know why. I'm not complaining, it's just that it's slightly disproportionate. And just to see how we are doing on the resources that we are producing, I put them on the display monitors. We're not doing that great, but I'm hoping that will change. So what are we missing for the third apiary? You should remember that these things are not very important because we're not importing them into the system. We are gathering them over here and we have a decent amount. So by the time that I actually clean things up, maybe it will also be ready. Something in my world is causing a crazy amount of lag and I have absolutely no idea what it is, but I'm blaming refined storage. So maybe what we're going to do is that we're going to turn it off. Because here is the point, we have plenty of experience and I don't think we need any more. I know that some of you guys might think that I'm not a fan of refined storage and this is why I'm saying this, but actually, the lag is gone. It is true that I have a little bit of FPS issues, but that is because we have been playing on this world for a very long time and we have a lot of buildings, a lot of machines, and mechanism is not very friendly as well. But during the past 2 episodes, I actually had a lot of issues. The game would freeze every 5 minutes, I could not break blocks, I could not teleport, I could not do anything. Anyways, now that it's fixed, I actually have nothing to complain about. I do understand that this episode we have been playing a lot with bees, but the issue is that I really need the resources. And in the meantime that I was cleaning up, we have enough resources in order to make one more tier for apiary. I placed the stupid dragon egg over here so that maybe it would rain and maybe we can have a dragon, and so far, no rain. It only rained once. I finished making the structure itself. This is still crafting. All I'm saying is that these stupid things are incredibly expensive. But it is perfectly fine by me because we're only missing one. It has been a few hours since the last cutscene and I noticed that I have not seen Cubby for a very long time. I noticed that he's on the map, but I could not find him. For a very weird reason which I do not understand, he glitched out over there and he was falling into the void. But crisis has been averted and I saved him with a jar. Good morning, Cubby. I also worked a little bit on making a facade for this building. I'm not very happy about the honeycomb blocks, but I will change it later on. So what have I been doing during the past few hours? Well, I did notice that we made a giant tower for Mano and Artifice, and we had not been Mano and Artificing ever since. Therefore, I decided to work a little bit on the second floor, and now we have a decent area for Mano and Artifice. And honestly speaking, I actually spent more time trying to get the polished wood from Eidolon rather than doing Mano and Artifice, but I think it was worth it. These look nice. Also, if you guys remember, there is a floor above this one, which I didn't know what to do with. I thought I will just mark the floor with the Ritual of Arcana so that whenever we want to make spells, I won't be confused. Now we come to the fun part of the plan, which is how to get up there. I have a Ritual of Ascension from Mahotsukai, and if you stand on it, it will teleport you up. It actually should not teleport you down here because if you read the spell, it should teleport you to the highest non-transparent block on the same coordinates, which in our case is on top of the eye. Therefore, I decided to cheat and use chisel and bits. So why did I tell you all of that? Well, because that was a very stupid idea and I don't want you to make the same mistake. Sometimes when I'm running across the room, you just get teleported upstairs. And also you might notice that there's no way of getting down. So I'm going to swallow my pride and we're going to use elevator blocks. And thankfully they can mimic. There you go. As it turns out, you cannot mark the elevator block with a chalk, so obviously I had to move it. But enough of my elevator problems, let us get back down to business, which is Mano and Artifice. We want to reach tier 4, correct? And in order to do that, we need to complete 11 of the 14 following tasks. The problem is that I don't want to make my save file incredibly big, so we're not going to travel 10,000 blocks, we're not going to find 42 biomes, and unfortunately this is a sky block, so we cannot find the stronghold, which basically means we have to complete everything else. Let us start with a tier 3 ritual. If you look at the book itself, it's not going to be very helpful because it doesn't tell you that there is a second page, and I just discovered it today. There is actually a second page, and there's also a third page. But in any case, if you come to your Oculus, it will tell you which rituals are considered to be tier 3. And I think what we are going to do is that we are going to have a ritual of summoning. For performing this ritual, we need something called a player charm, which requires a rune of marking. And it kind of makes sense because if you want to teleport me, you should at least know the location. And obviously we need to chisel, we need to hammer, and obviously we need to weave. It's actually a very cheap recipe, let us make 2, just in case. Because if this ritual does what I think it does, maybe we're going to use it. There you go. It should work. Oh, I have to draw. I think? No. I'm offline. Oh, you need to attune it to yourself. Okay, that makes sense. So let us do this one more time and see how it goes. No drawing is required. Nice. I have been teleported. Oh, hello. Unfortunately, it seems that it was a one-time use, but at least we did manage to finish one task. Another task is to craft an artifact from your faction at the Mana Weaving Altar. And if you guys remember, our faction is demons. I like demons. I used to be one. And considering that we are affiliated with the demons, what we should do is that we have to look for this symbol, so we can make the Ember Glow bracelets. Oh, it's actually a painful recipe. So I shall masterfully chisel, demonically hammer, and now we need to get the Mote of Fire because we used our previous one in order to craft the Philosopher's Fuel. Actually, the ritual of Searing Inferno, which is going to give us the Mote of Fire, is going to give me an opportunity to show you something fun. Although I need to craft a few bits and pieces, so let me do that and I'll be right back. Just to be fully transparent, you should remember that I did not find any good tutorials on this mod, so basically I'm reading it from the book. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Anyways, doing a ritual over and over again is quite painful. There is something that we can craft called a ritual kit. And if we go to the Nether, I can show you how it works. I put a mega torch down there, so I'm hoping nothing spawns over here. So if we place down the items for the ritual of the Searing Inferno, what we can do is that we can take our ritual kit, sneak right click on the central block, and the pattern of the ritual is going to be stored in it. So we just give it a chalk, the ingredients, and if I remove everything, it should do it automatically for us. There you go. It even activated it. Nice. But I think this time I have to draw. No? Yes. No animations? Okay. And since making the rituals is easy peasy, we just do this one more time. Just in case we need more. And now that we have all of our ingredients, let us craft our bracelet. It needs the same pattern 6 times and it takes for the mana to recharge, but I think we're done. My demonic bracelet. I'm very happy. Oh, you need mana. A recharging pedestal is actually not something very complicated, it's basically a pedestal next to a mana crystal. So you should charge up? Yes. It does work. We do not need it because we do have fire resistance, but at least that was one of the tasks. You might notice that there is a task to reach magic level 45, and I'm level 44. So we just need to level up a bit. That is not level 45? Oh, I'm 35. Ew. I'll be right back. It took me a few minutes, but we are at level 45. The next item that I want to work towards is the Rich Orb, because it sounds very interesting. It's a small enchanted orb that is infused with mana and it will zap my enemies. And also it can be enchanted with multi-shot, so I'm guessing it can zap multiple enemies, which is actually very useful for us because we need to enchant an item using the runic anvil. Therefore that is going to be 2 of the tasks. It's not raining. At all. I kind of need it to rain for this stupid dragon to hatch. So in order to make the Rich Orb, we need the Rune of Defense, the Rune of Arcane, an End Crystal, and a Mana Crystal Fragment. And then it is triangle, circle, upside down triangle. The Rich Orb. So we just charge you up. I can put it on my head. Oh, that's nice. Do we have an egg for any hostile mob? Slimes will do. He died. Actually, that was fun. Let us do this one more time. Oh, nice. And it also has knockback, I think. That's a big one. I'm actually enjoying this. So if we want to craft a multi-shot enchantment, this is the recipe. We need a Mote of Air. In order to get the Mote of Air, we need to perform a ritual called Untamed Winds. So let me gather a few items and I'll be right back. I was thinking, what is this noise? It's honey. Okay. We are doing a ritual and probably we have to repeat it several times, so I did go and grab a ritual kit. We just bound it to you. Am I missing something? Ah, yes. And we give you the ingredients. Oh, and by the way, the ritual for getting the Mote of Air has to be done above the clouds. This is why we are so high up in the air. Very good. We have it. Just in case, shall we have two? Why not? I have just noticed that I'm very talented at drawing. Multi-shot requires a Rune of Air. We never crafted it, but it is perfectly fine. I'm a master chiseler. So here is the Rune of Air. We just need a few arrows and one bow. I think this is the first lingering potion that I have ever made. In order to make the enchantment, we need the Rune of Air, we need the Mote of Air, the arrow, the other arrows, and the other arrow. And I think that should be the final symbol. Do you work? No? Oh, I forgot the bow. Now it works. So this is an enchantment and we want to combine it with our Eldritch Orb. So I think the Eldritch Orb goes on the anvil, we add the enchantment and hammer? Okay. That's easy then. Now you're enchanted with multi-shot. And as usual, we have to do a little bit of scientific experiment to see how it works. It works fine. I like that. Let's help him. Will you attack both? Nice. I like the lightning effect. Reminds me of someone. I don't know who. Anyways, we did manage to make the Eldritch Orb, we enchanted it, so we have only 2 more tasks to go. One of them is crafting a spell with a complexity of 55 and creating a construct. I don't know how to do that. We're not going to push to tier 4 in Mano and Artifice today because there are a lot of things that we need to do for the next episode. For example, one of the ingredients of the All the Mod Star is called Nexium Emitter, and if you look at the recipe, we need a transitory tunnel which requires a Rune of Ender. I have actually completed this ritual once because I wanted to see how the kits work, so we are going to do this one more time just with the kit. It has to be done in total darkness. It's a weird ritual, I know. Oh, this is the difficult one. I nailed it. Ladies and gentlemen, Rune of Ender. We also need to craft a Rune of Ender, which I think this is the pattern, no? Oh, I'm missing these. Good. Superheated Vintium, and there you go, Rune of Ender. So that's it, Rune of Ender, Rune of Ender, and clock. So this is the pattern, and this is the recipe. And it's not working. Do you have to have a tag? First off, it's called Transitory Tunnel and not Transitory Tunnel, so my bad. Secondly, I thought maybe I'm attuned to the wrong element, so I did play a little bit with a spell so that I can have the Ender power, but that also didn't work. Then I thought maybe if it's not in the book, we have to advance further to tier 4. We have to craft a spell with a complexity of 55, which there you go, this one has a complexity of 55, it's nothing very special, it's just fire and touch. Oh, I missed the clay. There you go. Activate. We have it. Now I need to craft a construct with at least 3 iron or gold parts. I have noticed that there is something called a construct workbench, and I have no idea how it works. But I'm assuming a construct should have a head, a torso, 2 legs, and 2 arms. And that basically means I have to craft a lot. Well, that was fun. You have to craft a ton of parts. But the fun part is, it's not superheated Vintium ingot anymore, it's the superheated purified Vintium ingot. That took me a while to notice. We have all the parts we need in order to make the construct. The problem is now we need to start animating him. We first have to assemble him on the workbench, and here is your torso, so you shall be complete. It seems that in order to animate the construct itself, we are going to need some of these Chimmerite crystals. They do not have a crazy recipe, it's just Chimmerite gem with a dye. But we also need to give some sort of an affiliation to the crystals using a spell. Yes, I think now he is affiliated to fire. Anyways, now if we right click, he should be animated. I hope. Yes, he's alive. I'm in the next tier? Advance by completing the following ritual. Burning Hell. Didn't we do that? Well, we did have an extra fire mode which I'm using for the ritual, but if I'm not wrong, we need to offer another fire mode to the demon. So I guess we need to go to the nether and do the ritual one more time. We activate the ritual. We wait for the demon. Hello, here is your offering. Are you happy? I have advanced to tier 4. However, we did all of that in order to make a transitory tunnel, so let us see if we can make it. Please don't be something from level 5. No, we can have it. Perfect. And just out of curiosity, what do we need for level 5? It's not that bad. Anyhow, now that we got the tunnel, let us at least make the emitter. It's a good thing that I decided to play a little bit with Mano and Artifice, otherwise we would have been screwed. This took hours. We have already all the crystals from Power on auto crafting, so I think the only thing that I have to do is to put patterns for the rods. I have set in all the patterns. Can we craft it? Yes. Now we need to make this player transmitter, which is not as easy as you would think, because I think at the end of the day we need to find a zombie. Yes, we need an aerial pearl, and that requires a zombie. There should be zombies in the other dimension, right? Yes. Hello? Oh, you get consumed. What are you? Why is there a dragon inside? I have absolutely no idea, but it's okay. Maybe we get a soul? No. Oh, we got an egg. In any case, ladies and gentlemen, let me set the patterns and I'll be right back. We also need some sort of a wireless terminal, so we're going to make the ME version. And the final item is compressed block of netherite, 3 times. Can I just do this like manually? Cause it shouldn't be that much. It's like 700? Actually, it is not 700, it is 1400, and it is going to take a bit of time. It's going to consume 24,000 pieces of netherite scrap and 24,000 gold. It's not that bad. You know, I just realized it's only 1. It was 2 platinum. So I can just craft you, right? Yes. Nexium Emitter. So from all the items that we need in order to make the Aldemod star, we're missing the dimensional seed, Patrick star, Wither's compass, and the improbable probability device. That's it. And this is easy peasy for us. Anyway guys, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, bye bye.